Happy Wednesday, you handsome lot. And on the ramp today, I've got a 2008 Audi Q7 3-litre V6 turbo diesel. And it came in, was it Thursday or Friday last week, with a few fault codes. And it has turned out to be the lower half of the inlet manifold. Now we're going to go ahead and get involved and get that manifold replaced. If you haven't noticed already, I'm sat inside the car with it running. And I think the first thing that we need to do is try and get this suspension lowered down, just to give us that little bit more access to saves reaching over and straining ourselves. We don't want to be straining. We need to make these jobs as easy as we can for ourselves. And I think that now is pretty much as low as it'll go. Let's get the bonnet open. Right, with that bonnet open, we've got my little strip light now for it. I do get asked quite a lot of times, what lamp do I use? Well, it is a Ring Automotive under bonnet hood light with a 240 volt LED strip light attached to it. Now, as you can see, there is a lot of stuff that we need to take off. Now, the part that we need to replace is that there. Now, what normally happens is these little balls on the end, they do wear. Where's the other piece gone? You can buy just the arms for it, but these come with the BGA kit, and it's actually snapped at the bottom. And it looks as if it's been played with before because we've got nuts and bolts missing everywhere. Now, if you've never done them before, technical information is going to help you all the way, and it does give you a diagram of everything. And also, if you're unsure, it does give you a removal and replacement. We want to go CSA, bottom section, right hand side. There is an upper, and this is a lower. That is a lower, and that is the upper. And this tells you exactly, step by step, how to take it off. But I have done these before. I'm just showing you how capable All Data is at the minute. Now, they are offering a 3 weeks trial. If you mention my name, give them a call, and no doubt they will get you hooked up and you can give it a trial and see how good it is. Whenever you're doing these older cars, when they've got lots of plastic involved, be extra careful, especially in this colder weather, because everything will be brittle. And just take your time, even if you have to start the engine up and leave it tick over for 15 minutes, just get a little bit of heat in the plastic, just so it won't snap. We've got to remove now this high pressure fuel line from the pump down here, which goes across to each common rail. Now, with those fuel pipes just disconnected, that's given us enough room to lift this upper inlet manifold off. Now, I haven't done the intake pipe from here. We've got to just undo this intake motor flap down here when we pull it off, because it is a little bit tricky down the back there. I'm going to chuck it into a little bit of time lapse, because there's quite a few T30s that we need to take off. And that up manifold should be off. Right, well, as you can see, I have now got that upper inlet manifold off, and I have gone ahead and taken the lower manifold off as well. It was very simple to do. It's just a Rucker 6mm Allen keys, and we can get it off. But however, I think this has had a little bit of a boost leak at some point, because there's lots of oil everywhere. Even down the back there, you can see where it's pouring out. And I don't think, well, I know these 6mm bolts, they weren't tight at all. But if we flip it over now, you can see the end of it has completely failed. And them swirl flaps, they're only meant to open 90 degrees. Well, they're spinning right the way round. Stupid. My God, I tell you what, this last half an hour, 45 minutes, the temperature hasn't half plummeted. I can feel it, it's gone straight through me. I've had to put my big coat on. But however, we have got some bad news regarding these manifolds. A little bit of cross wires somewhere. I want a left, this is where it gets complicated. The left side and the right side are I don't know whether I've got them mixed up or whoever I've got them off has got them mixed up. But however, we need that is called, let me go on the dial because I've had a little look. This is the left side. Wait for it to load. Internet. So even the internet's cold. This one is called the left side. So it must be as you sat at the driver's seat, left and right. And I've gone, I want easily done. It's not the end of the world because I've got another one coming in the morning. Now in between this, I have got other little jobs that I don't need a ramp for, electrical stuff. But yeah, make sure you're ordering the right one. I think that one's my fault, but there's no drama. It is what it is at the end of the day, and there's nothing we can do about it wait until tomorrow morning until the right one turns up. Oh, what a week it has turned out to be. It's now Friday. The inlet manifold, the right one, was meant to turn up yesterday morning, but didn't turn up until very late last night. Probably about 4:45, 20 to 5. There's been an accident somewhere and couldn't get it and got delayed because it had to come by a courier. But nonetheless, the brand new one is here and we're going to get this fitted. Right, now comparing the new manifolds, this surface here is nice and flat and that one's raised with a gasket on it. And if you have a little look, these little metal inserts are missing. Well, a couple of them are missing out of the old one. That must have been leaking under boost. Right, before we get that on, we're going to get our lovely little rag. We're just going to have a little look down the inlet ports and make sure that nothing has dropped in and give everything a little bit of a cleaner-ooning with some elbow grease and a clean rag. We're going to make it look brand new. Right, now I've got that manifold in, and to get it in, just undo this coolant pipe here, a little bleed nipple on, prise it up a little bit, and that will just slide underneath. Now I've put all the bolts in and we need to get these torqued up to, if we jump around to all data now, get an exploded diagram. And we want to torque these bolts up here around to number 4, and they are 9 Newton meters. Now with that manifold all torqued up to spec, we need to go around and get the Swirl motor back on. Goes around the back, and in the new kit that you get, where's it gone? Where have I put it? Can't be far away. Oh, so you do get new bolts and a brand new little lever arm. Right, well I've put that in the new motor on, and I've also put the lower ball joint on the linkage. Now what I like to do on these, obviously because the ball and the linkage is dry, and you imagine plastic wearing back into just on its own, it's going to wear. Now what I like to do on these, tiny little bit of Vaseline, and I just like to put a little blob on it. Some of you are probably going to say, oh, you don't do that, you don't need to do that, that's pointless, but I like to. And once it's on, you can just click it in place and make sure that everything is moving nice and freely, which it is. Now think back to when I removed the inlet manifold, it was absolutely covered in silicone. As you can see, I have scraped some off, and I have done it with a little pickler carbine scraper. Just be gentle, and that should all come off nice and easy. With a little bit of magic, everything is now back together and torqued up to spec. Make sure that everything is plugged in. We're going to jump on the diag now. For anybody that's going to ask, this is an X431 launch Euro Tab 3. Click OK. We're going to read the fault codes. No fault codes stored. We're going to actuation test. Read by list. We'll check the both intake manifold. Start with the number 1 is this side. that one's working. If we stop that one, we back out and we go around to number 2, which is the one that we've repaired. We click start. And it is moving silky smooth. Right, let's back out of there. Let's get on the key and give it a big start-a-rooney. And there you have it, that car is now all back together. We've given everything a little bit of a cleaner-rooney to make it look a little bit more presentable, because when they go home they might just want to open the bonnet and have a little look. They're not going to see what has been done, but at least if it looks clean, it almost looks as if something has been done. Now, I'm going to get this car off the ramp and we're going to take it down the road for a little bit of a test drive and see how well it drives. I tell you what, I've had to put the bloody heaters on in this car because I'm absolutely delivered. Heated seats on, heaters on high, full blast, weird, nice and toasty. Well, anyway, this car now is driving absolutely perfect. There are no fault codes, and for an old bus, it is quite a comfy old car, to be honest with you. They don't half go well, not gonna lie. But anyway, I'm gonna end the video there. If you have liked it, please hit that like and subscribe. I think I've got a little Nissan Navara D40 coming on for a ball joint, prop shaft universal joint, which should be a good video. But yeah, please hit that like and subscribe, and no doubt I will see you lot on the next video. Let's get it sent.